Hey, hello, and welcome to this very impromptu live teaching on how to live an uncompromised life. This is a live mini teaching that I haven't announced because it's just kind of like occurred to me, it just came through to share a little bit about how to actually set up an uncompromised life. Because at the end of the day, this is really what we want to be happy, right? To live a life where we're not constantly restricted by things, constantly encroached on by things. And so this is something that I wanted to speak on a little bit about today. So it's not going to be a super long one. But if you do come on, do let me know, come and say hi, let me know that you're here. And if you have any questions around how you can live an uncompromised life, then please do let me know down in the chat box below as well. My name, in case you don't know me yet, because we have new people in the group, my name is Kathrin. I'm the host of this group, and I'm an intuitive success coach who helps people live an extraordinary life, set up an extraordinary life for themselves, build an extraordinary business exactly in the unique way with their original passion blueprint. So this is really what I'm stand for. This is kind of like what my passion is, and this is what I'm really, really, really good at, and helping people get really amazing, consistent results with this. So again, I wanted to share a little bit about this today. Before I go into it, if you have taken part in the Goddess Consciousness Challenge or experienced the free Goddess training series that I've done for 7 days up until yesterday was the last one. So if you've taken part, all of the replays are still here in the group. You just have to scroll to look for them or go to the video tab. I will also be sending out an email today for everyone who's signed up for free to receive the free Goddess Playbook at the very end. If you have not signed up yet, do let me know. I'll shoot you the link, or just look at one of the posts in the group. You should be able to find it as well, but you can also shoot me a private message if you want to, because I want everyone to have this amazing Goddess Playbook. It is like there was a lot of love put into it, and I really kind of like look forward to you receiving that love and that inspiration from that Goddess consciousness experience, right? Also have a little bit of a different setting today. I'm outside because we have phenomenal weather still. It's not super warm, but it's really beautifully nice, and kind of like, you don't even have to wear a jumper. Just gonna pull up another tab of this just to be sure that we're broadcasting properly. And Sage is here. Oh my God, I haven't seen your comment, Sage. Happy day, Nina. You're so welcome here on this live, Sage. So good that you're here. The other thing is that next week we're going to start Goddess Alchemy, which is the program, the #1 program where I teach you everything to live an uncompromised life, where I teach you exactly how you can set up an extraordinary life in this Goddess consciousness that we've been talking so much about. It's going to be a phenomenal program. I stand 100% behind it. It's going to be life-changing. So if you feel called to living an extraordinary life and are not quite sure how to do that, if you feel, there's limiting stuff that comes up, limiting ideas, fears, worries, doubts, outer circumstances, this is the program for everyone who wants to build a life or a business completely on feeling and living from the extraordinary, because it's really what we're going to do in there. So I'm so excited to start it next week. We're going to have a prep week to start with, because I'm going to ease you into the content, because it's going to be a deep dive into really powerful stuff. And I want your nervous system, your brain, your energy, I want it to be prepped for this. So we're going to do amazing things in that first week to really, really get your body, mind, consciousness on board to really receive the program on a very deep level. So totally tooting this horn, because the program is going to be phenomenal. If you're not on it, if you're thinking about it, do let me know, because it's going to be super worth it. And the other thing is that yeah, I said it already. Goddess Consciousness Experience, the Goddess Playbook is coming. But the mini teaching on how to live an uncompromised life, the inspiration, it came from a post. Sorry, I'm sitting on my jumper. The inspiration for the post that I made on my personal profile. If you're not friends with me, then add me as a friend, and you will see the post on my personal profile that I made. And I want to tie in with that, because this is really what led me to living an uncompromised, unrestricted life for myself. And what I shared there was that, me here in the garden, having set up everything in the way that I can thrive in a way where I don't have to go to an office with fluorescent LED lights, and rubbery floors that is off-gassing and all of these kind of things, because this is what I want to do. I don't want to go into an office. Okay, I've done that in the past. It has served me in the past. There were times in the past where I absolutely loved it, and I know there are so many people that absolutely love going to the office, and I appreciate that, but I didn't. So for my circumstances, I set up my life exactly how it suits me, how it suits my well-being, how it suits my health, how it suits everything that I personally value. Okay, and I'm here helping people do the same for themselves, even if it seems impossible, even if it seems difficult, even if it seems, oh my God, there are so many, things that prevent me from doing it. I was there. I know how to get over it. And I teach that in a very, very powerful, profound way. But my point is that I'd love for you to be inspired to set up this kind of life for you as well. Where you can work in the garden if you want to, where you can choose your working hours if you want to, where you can go on holiday when and how often and how long you want to, because all of these things, they are possible for us, but we have to start believing in them. Okay, everything that seems very far out there is just out there because we have a certain amount of beliefs that are kind of like crossing the direct path between us here and the desire that we have, and the thing that is actually manifesting in our lives, and that we're actually living these things that we think, oh my God, that's crazy. It is actually not crazy. People do it every single day. People quantum leap, people transform, people change their lives. But we have to give our body, our nervous system, our brain, our mindset, our soul, our heart, the chance to actually grow into that. Okay, sometimes it can happen in the blip of a second, sometimes it can take a little bit longer. And nothing is incorrect. Everything is exactly as it should be. Okay, I just want you to open up to the possibility that no matter what you truly desire from your heart, allow yourself to identify what it is and to go after it. Decide that you're here to have that, because desires are there to be met, to be fulfilled. Otherwise, there wouldn't be desires, because we are beings of these, as Abraham Hicks says, we are these external beings of Source. And Source wouldn't have these desires if they couldn't be met. Okay, very, very important. And so, there was a point in my life where I was starting to get fed up with office life. At that point, I was living in London, and my first step was downsizing out of London into the countryside. And I got myself a job in the countryside. I still had to go to an office, and I was there for maybe a year and a half in that office, until I then found another job that allowed me to keep living in the countryside but also work from home. Now, for a few people, that might be a little bit enough, like, what, countryside and working from home, this must be boring. I didn't think so, because I had so many other things that I did at the time. I did health coaching, I did a lot of certificates, I did a lot of trainings, I did a lot of further education. So for me, it was perfect. Like, I didn't need all of the fancy stuff in the city. And at that time, and actually before that time, already when I was in London, I started to develop a lot of chemical and food insensitivities food sensitivities, chemical and food sensitivities. And so I had to change my lifestyle. Like I've always been interested in healthy living. Like, you know, there was always a little bit of a medicine woman within myself. I always knew about plant medicine and plant power, like already at a very young age, and all of these cool, really amazing things, herbs and whatnot. But it came to the point where I didn't really live it, you know, living in the city, being young, going to the pub, and, you know, not living in such a super healthy lifestyle. I just developed all of these things, and there was a lot of stress, there was emotional trauma going on, and that really triggered chemical and food sensitivity, not insensitivity. And and the thing is that I then decided enough is enough. Like, I wanted to change my life completely. I was so into natural health. I was so into natural, organic, sustainable lifestyles, but still like with this cool vibe. Because sometimes we think, oh my God, you know, all of that organic stuff and alternative stuff must be so boring and gray and brown and little earthy, you know, maybe this is not so like, oh, delicious and young and modern, but it can totally be that. And this is really the angle from which I dove into the whole thing, where I used these things to really be fun, to enrich my life, to really make me feel blissful and happy and nourished and protected, and being able to expand in my life. And once I took the decision to do all of these things, my life completely changed around. Actually, I was led from one thing to the next. To really kind of like change my circumstances around. Now, I'm not saying that everything used to be perfect, and I'm saying that everything now is perfect. Like, we live in a world of contrast, and that's good, because contrast feeds desire. Okay, and we are here to have desires and experience the fulfillment of our desires. Okay, sorry, there's a chat above. So really what happened is I was starting to go inside and really allow myself to let my passion out. And from there, from that inner knowing who I was really about, who I wanted to be, how I wanted to identify and show up in the world, and what I wanted to do, all of these amazing things came out. Like, I became a health coach, I became a results coach. And then from there, I moved more into the energy realm and the intuitive stuff, and the intuitive success coaching and the business coaching, and coaching people in their personal lives as well. So I allowed myself to really open that up. So just to show everyone, like, this can be totally possible for you as well. It's not just because I'm special or because anyone else who does it. Whatever it is that you want to, you know, go to, it doesn't have to be coaching or anything like that. It could be like you just want to raise super healthy children, or just, which is like an amazing thing to do, an extraordinary thing to do, or you want to build a business that changes lives. You want to become someone who helps other people. Like, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. Okay. You can do all of these things, and it's really just starting with you allowing yourself to find out what it is that you really want, and to go after that, and then all of these steps will be opened up to you. So when I did all of that, then I transitioned, as I said, out into a home working kind of like situation, where I would still be employed but working from home, and then I would move countries, and then also in the end I quit my job and you know, build my business. And that was so fulfilling, because now I am the person who gets to help other people and support other people, and kind of like lead and guide other people to really step into their own extraordinary life, that before they didn't even know how it looked like, or that they could have it, or how they would go about creating it. Okay, so this is really what I am doing, and it's so beautiful to see people opening up to that, and people actually changing their lives and leading this uncompromised lifestyle, and building the things that they actually want to create in their life, their mission, their vision, whilst nourishing their body, whilst feeling like a goddess, whilst giving them everything they need to feel safe and protected, but also expansive and adventurous, and all the things that they want. Like, everyone is, you know, different. Another chat. everyone is different, obviously. So everyone has different kind of like preferences. Okay, everyone has this passion blueprint that I help people bring out in themselves and then actually create it in the world, because we don't just want to talk about it, we actually want to create it and live it. Okay, yet another one. Let's go to that one was flying very low. Anyway, I hope you can still hear me fine. Let me know if you can hear me fine. Because I can't see any comments. I've seen that a lot of people have difficulties with Facebook Lives right now because the comments are not visible. But it doesn't matter. I'm still here with you. And if you're watching the replay, if you have any questions, then do let me know as well, okay? As just as like if you're on the live. So yeah, so this led me to lay my own foundation to live an uncompromised life, okay? A life where all of the things that usually kind of like kick some people off kilter a little bit, or, you know, where you create drama and all of that kind of stuff, we just don't subscribe to that anymore. It's not even remotely interesting to you anymore. And it's funny because I was just driving my mom somewhere, and we were having a conversation because she had my car the other day and she drove it into not a wall, but this kind of like separating thing in the parking lot, and damaged it quite a bit, and it has to go for, you know, repairing now. And in the past, I knew that this would have freaked me out, not having the car and having to arrange everything, and, you know, all the money to pay, even though there's obviously insurance, but kind of like the amount that you have to pay, it's still, you know, it's quite a lot, and so normally it would have freaked me out. But when she told me, she's like, oh no, I'm so sorry what I did to your car. It's like, it's fine, mom, it's all good, like, you know, don't worry. And I had just come off a super successful client call where I helped someone really get outside of their limited restrictions, where they felt there was a lot of drama in their life, and I had helped them overcome that. And I was able to, because I do the same for me, okay? And then it was so funny because I had raised the bar and raised the standards. I helped the person, my client, to raise those standards for themselves. And so I did. I hope mom is okay. Oh, Sage, so sweet. Yeah, absolutely. Like she didn't get hurt at all. And she was fine. She was just a little bit like, oh, you know. It was kind of like the rear side of the car. So all is good. Everything is good. And yeah, so she was really nervous and agitated about it, but I just, you know, said, you know, mom, like, this is like, I'm not the person who gets agitated by that anymore. Like, I just move through life in a much more easier way now, because I've done all of the stuff that I'm teaching, especially all of this really deep stuff that I'm teaching in Goddess Alchemy, because this is how you live like a goddess. It's not like drinking wine from a beautiful goblet or wearing a beautiful gown, although these can be elements if that's kind of like what speaks to your goddess consciousness, okay? Everyone's goddess archetype and goddess consciousness is different, and, you know, it's beautiful, you know, if you can do that, drinking beautiful juices from, you know, golden goblets or glass goblets, whatever. But it's also not being being untouchable from all of the drama that sometimes is, you know, is created in this world. And it's kind of like, it's just there, you know, whatever. And so I teach so many beautiful practices, strategies, and ways where you can really cope so easily, so that life gets so much more fluid, so much more flowing, and that you have so much more energy for the actual stuff that you want to do, for your mission, to create your lifestyle, to create your business, to create the family that you want to have, to create the relationships that you want to have, to create your impact, whatever it is, okay? So this is really what Goddess, you know, Alchemy is all about, you know, along with so many other things. But yeah, so I was staying totally calm, and my mom, she was so grateful. And then just now, when I was, because I'm regressing a little bit, when I was driving her off, we saw that actually there was another quite a big dent in the rear, kind of like car, like where the car opens, in that kind of like little nook. There was quite a big dent as well that we had somehow missed. And I had been feeling so good all day, and I had been really doing all of the work that, again, I will teach in Goddess Alchemy, and I felt so phenomenal. And you know what, even though, of course, like my brain, my eyes were aware of this damage and and, you know, oh, annoying, and, you know, someone must have done it, or my mom drove, I don't know, I have no clue because I didn't really have my car. I don't really drive that much, but it didn't even matter. Right? It didn't even matter. I could have gone into, how did it happen? Did you do it? Did someone else do it? Or, you know, maybe I did it when I was driving to the bank, or, you know, going into all of that drama. I just didn't do it. It was just not, it was almost like it wasn't even accessible to me, because I did not remotely give a crap about it, you know, sorry not to swear. But it was just because I had gotten myself into such a beautiful, delicious state all morning long that I was just not available for all of this crazy drama. And, you know, it was just not on my radar. Okay. And like, there's so many things right now going on that need to be resolved at some point, but I know that I'm doing everything that I can do, and everything else is falling into place, and the solutions and the answers just come to me naturally. And this has all, like, it's always happened that way ever since I've really changed my consciousness, ever since I've really changed the way I identify, really. And we do this really deep, profound re-identification in Goddess Alchemy, because it's going to be so powerful. And you really get unwithable. I probably Facebook doesn't allow saying these things, but it's really, really getting out of this neediness, getting out of the circumstances, getting out of the conditions, and living an uncompromised, unlimited life like a goddess. You don't even have to, you know, prescribe to goddess consciousness or the goddesses or any of that kind of stuff if you don't want to in the program, because it will be taught in such an accessible way for everyone. There will be goddesses stuff, obviously, because that's kind of like what nourishes the divine feminine energy, but you can really tackle it from any kind of way you want, because what I'm really teaching there is freedom, emotional freedom, that then translates into physical, financial freedom. Okay, freedom in your relationships, freedom in like your relationship with yourself, freedom in who you are and what you want to bring to the world, freedom in creating your vision and your mission and actually going after it, actually creating it, not just thinking about it, you know, intellectualizing it, but actually doing that, embodying these things. So that's what we're going to do in Goddess Alchemy. And yeah, and I've just like seen all of these events in my life that have happened recently, and that, you know, similar things I see happen to other people as well. And I see that, oh my God, like I can just flow through it and still thrive and grow and become even more abundant and happy and fulfilled and nourished, without these things taking anything away from me, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, if you want to, right? Because you really get to be free. And this is really, to me, what goddess consciousness is. You could give it a million other names. You could call it energy mastery. You could call it enlightenment. You could call it freedom. You could call it whatever you want to. Okay, I just happen to call it Goddess Alchemy because, you know, because it ties in a lot with the divine feminine. But the point is that you really have to just make that decision. You really just have to commit to that. And I'm committed to helping everyone lead a really exceptional life, becoming exceptional, loving themselves exceptionally, and bringing forward exceptional things in their lives, whether it's projects, whether it's nonprofits, whether it's multi-million companies, anything like that, because there is no limit really. We are the limit. And I show you how to take away the limitations and really make things unconditional, uncompromised. And it's such a pleasure to do that. It is such a pleasure to do that. It is such a pleasure to know that you can do it. And it's such a pleasure to teach others how to do it and really empower other people. And that sends so many amazing ripple effects out into the world. So I'm really bold with that because I know I can be bold, because I know it has substance, because I know when you implement these things, when you embody that stuff, you're going to get the same consistent, amazing, incredible, ecstatic, blissful, peaceful results that I have gotten, and that I keep getting the more and more I dive into that work that I'm about to teach. So that is what I wanted to tell you today. And I hope these kind of like these 2 excursions in the areas of like my life, like as examples, the part where I was really sensitive to all of that stuff in the like chemicals, food, and all of these things, and then moving into a place where I could really provide myself the atmosphere, the environment from the inside out, but also from the outside in, to really provide myself with this amazing lifestyle, where I don't have to go into an office, because that's, I happen to not want to go into an office. Okay, it could be the other way around. Maybe you do want to go into an office and you don't know how, and so it goes all directions. Okay, it is really unique and extraordinary to everyone, and this is how I teach, because no one's passion blueprint is the same. No one's soul blueprint is the same. And then I hope that the car stories really helped you as well, to maybe look at things in your life and say, oh my God, it's fine, I can deal with it. And again, I give you the exact strategies, the exact mindset, the exact energy work, the exact energy alchemy and energy mastery to do all of these things and more, because we not just want to overcome stuff. It doesn't have to be, difficult or tricky or long winding or long term or whatever. It can actually be quite rapid, quite instantaneous sometimes, even if we allow ourselves to be instantaneous. Sometimes it takes a few days, maybe a week, maybe a month, but it doesn't have to take months and years, okay? So I'm so excited about this. And yeah, I hope that you got really good stuff out. Hey, Arlene, how are you? So good to see you. So for everyone who's just joined or has joined kind of like in the process, be sure to go back to the replay, because all of the goodies were kind of like in the beginning, in the middle, and then some towards the end. And I really hope that you get a lot out of this teaching, because really this is my kind of like the thing that I want to bring to the world, and that I am bringing to the world, is really helping people see their potential, create an extraordinary life, overcome anything that stands in their way. And it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to take years. It doesn't have to be hard and heavy and we don't want all of these things, right? We can learn from that, but then it's time to actually live your life. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding anything that I've taught today, do let me know. As I said, go back and watch from the beginning if you have missed most of it, because there's some really good, really golden nuggets in there that have transformed my life, and that I really hope to pass on to others as well, because they're so good. So don't miss them. Again, if you've signed up for Goddess Consciousness Experience, the free complimentary one that I've just finished yesterday, I will leave on the replays for a few more days, and then we'll move everything over to Instagram. So be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle there is Nina Kathrin Weber. 1 B and a TH and a K, and and the other thing I wanted to say, yes, so next week we're going to start Goddess Alchemy. It's going to be completely changing people's lives. I'm so pleased with everyone who signed up already. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have the prep week first to ease you into the depth and the intensity of the content. And when I say intensity, not like, oh, you're going to go crazy. It is going to be really amazing and delicious and so eye-opening. But before, I really want to prep your consciousness, your body, your nervous system, your energy, so that you can really soak in all of that deliciousness that we're going to work through in those 10 weeks that Goddess Alchemy will run for. Technically, you actually get not a 10-week program, but actually a 15-week program, because every second week we have an additional session, an intuition school session, a Goddess Oracle Temple session. Will help you tap into the divine, tap into your own intuition, and really bring you so much clarity, so much connection. So that is kind of like an added bonus. And the other added bonus is that with Goddess Alchemy, you will also receive a full length 1.5 to 2 hour deep subconscious transformational session, which I feel every woman on this planet and every man should have. because it gets you so much into what you want, and it gets you so much into letting go of all of the stuff that keeps you back from that in a very easy way, where you don't really have to do all of that hard work that sometimes we're taught, or sometimes we feel we have to do. Most of the time, 99% of the time, it's really not necessary. And these sessions are so powerful. I had just a client who did the deep dive program with me, the actual deep dive personal edition program, where that session, that specific deep subconscious therapy session, is part of as well. And I offered her for the Goddess Alchemy that she signed up for. If you already had the session, if you want to have another one, we can just do like a regular one. She's like, no, it was amazing. I want to do it. I want to do it. So this is how powerful they are, because they really change people's lives. They are transformational, rapidly transformational. And that is just like that one session, let alone the whole program that you get all around it, plus the supportive Facebook group, plus the beautiful sisterhood that's being created in there, plus my support. I will be several times a week in the group giving support to all of the questions regarding the course, anything that comes up in your life that kind of like is somehow connected with the course, and all of these things. So it's going to be an amazing opportunity. I can't wait to open it up next week. You can sign up now. Spots are limited. And I'm just going to share the link to all of this, because this is really, like, I've never before taught on this exceptional level. And it's gonna be so good. So Goddess Alchemy, there is the link. Sending you all of my love. If you watch the replay, do let me know that you are here. Affirm even if you're live here now, affirm in the comments, I am a goddess. Really tap into that goddess consciousness. And in Goddess Alchemy, oh my God, we're gonna go so much deeper. Going to be delicious. Sending you all of my love. I hope you've really benefited from this mini teaching and the real life examples that I gave you, and the way how to deal with things. So, and from here, it's only gonna get even better. And I can't wait to send out the Goddess Playbook tomorrow as well, or the day after. So all of my love. See you soon.